Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Orange Crushing It. My name is Frank Clark. I am the CEO and founder of the Mr. Orange and the Orange Crushing It movement. And again, just to reiterate a little bit, Orange Crushing It, the Orange movement is all about people that are driven and passionate for life. They're adrenaline junkies. They love to have a good time. They also understand that in order to be successful, they need to help other people become successful. And I have the epitome of that on my show today. I have a guy that I met at a Tony Robbins event. He is an amazing, inspiring guy. He's a public speaker. He happens to have been born with hand-heart syndrome. Now, I didn't know what that was, but what hand-heart syndrome is you're not born with any limbs. So my guest, Marcos Rossi, today has no arms, no legs. He's in a wheelchair. And yet this guy functions better than 90% of the planet. He surfs, he scuba dives, he's a speaker, an international speaker. He's written an international best-selling book called What is Impossible for You. He plays the drums, he sings, he's a lawyer, he's got a couple of boys, he's married to the love of his life. He's making everybody jealous. He's crushing it. And he does not let his disability run his life. He is an inspiring guy. And I'm really, really proud and happy to say that he's a good friend of mine. I've met him for a couple of years now. We've gotten to know each other. Marcos Rossi, welcome to Orange Crushing It, dude. You're a legend, buddy, in my book. Legend. Welcome.
Hey, Frank. Good to see you, to hear you, man. And hello, everybody. It's an honor for me to be here with you and being part of your incredible work that you are doing so very well and inspiring so many people, man. Thank you. Thank you again. It's an honor. Well, as you said, I do a lot of stuff. I was born like this. I don't have nothing and I do everything. And most of people have everything and don't do nothing. And why is that? Because being happy, it's a choice. It's a choice that you make every single day of your life. And I was born like this, with nothing, no arms, no legs, and no resources, because I was born here in Brazil, and we didn't have this kind of resource for someone in my condition at that time. So can you imagine being born like this? Your child will be a happy child, expensive child, creative child, or not. But yeah. I learned since the beginning, man, that your biography, it's not who you are. So I learned since the beginning, because I always did, and I always searched for that things that put my energy up, all right, on playing with my friends and doing the things that I love. Because when you do the things you love, your energy is up, all right. You are, yes, like that. And everybody that knows me always say that, whoa, you get that energy, you inspire me. And then, because since I was a kid, I do this.
Yeah.
But well, even without knowing, right? Without knowing, because a child is a child.
And when
it
you're
doesn't
a child,
matter if you have one arm, two arms, or legs, or don't have it. You just want to be happy. You just want to do the things that makes you feel good. And then we grow up. And then we forgot to do the thing, to search for your happiness, and then only do things and worry about problems and worrying about the things that happened to you, and the things that your family said to you, that the stories that they told you and you told yourself too. So, and you're not going to happiness.
Right. Hey, Marcos, this is a function of, this was a disability, if you want to call it that. This was the way you were born. So you didn't really know any different, I guess, right? I mean, when you're raised this way, you deal with the limitations that you're given, right? And you also deal with the blessings that you're given. And in your mind, as a baby, I can imagine, okay, you don't know any other way other than what you observe as you start to get older. Kids, though,
Yes.
can tend to be cruel, you know, as you start getting into school and all that stuff. You know, how did you emotionally manage, you know, you're a teenager, right? You're not just a toddler anymore, you
All
know.
right.
And like I say, you know, people can be very mean. I know there were kids in my class that had some disabilities, and they had a rough time of it. And you obviously have to tap into that intestinal fortitude that says, you know what, I'm special, I'm different, I'm unique, and I'm great, and I'm loving. What was that
Yes.
process like for you? What were your
Uh,
family like? Who inspired you as a kid to keep you really on point and excited?
all right. Well, first of all, it started a little bit earlier than the teenage age. Uh, I always loved to play soccer. And you say, holy cow, how you play soccer without legs? But I used to have some crutches, you know, crutches,
Yeah.
but that crutches, they were at my size. So I used to sit on the ground, put the crutches on my arms, and then I just put the crutches in front of me, and then I bend my belly, and boom, and I can run all the field and make some goals. And but the boys, when the championship was made and they needed to choose who will be in which side, I was always the last one, or they sometimes they didn't pick me up. And I, why was that? And then I started to realize that because I was different. But then the most important thing, it's how you react on things that happen to you.
Absolutely.
Because I remember that we were on a championship at the school, and then I wasn't picked up to play. I was at the outside the court, the field, on the corner, just watching. And then a boy passed the ball to the other, but he missed it. He passed too strong, too, and then the ball was coming, and I look at that moment, and I just entered the field, and with my crutches, I boom, and then the ball goes to the right corner, and there's a beautiful goal, man. Everybody was like, ah! And then they started to choose me again.
Yeah.
You know the difference? Because sometimes things happens, and then you just watch and be sad. And then I I needed to do something, and then I did it, and boom. All right, but okay, I know that I'm different, but I will do my best here.
Right.
Then teenager, I became a teenager, and then I started to like girls, you know, and all that moment. Okay, but my first attempt to talk, even talk to a girl, I was like 14 years old
Okay.
in a party that at noon or something in some friend's house. Everybody was dancing over there, and then I didn't have my powered wheelchair yet, so it was a manual one. So if I can go to, I need to ask. And then I saw that girl, beautiful, beautiful girl, and I talked to my friend. I said, listen, can you help me to talk to that girl? My first attempt. I'll do it. And then, all right, I'll help you. He pushed me to the girl and ran out. The guy simply ran out. And I said, holy, uh, what am I going to do now? Or I talk, or I talk. I cannot move my wheelchair by
You're
myself.
stuck. You're stuck, man. You're
Yes.
right in front of the
So,
girl. Okay.
all right, let's do this.
Yep.
My first 5 words to the girl, she looked at me and said, get off. I want a full boy, not a half.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
no.
You heard
Well,
that on your first attempt. It wasn't good. It was like a punch in the stomach.
sure.
And then I became sad with that. And then I said, wow, I'm am I will I'll be able to complete someone someday. And then I started to feel bad, and I was like 1 month without getting out home, just school or doctors or something like that. But for parties, and I was done. And I remember that my father was my first great mentor. And when he was alive, he said to me, you need to change your state, man. Change your state. Being sad is gonna solve nothing. Because when you have a situation in your life that makes you feel bad, that feeling, if you do not take care of that, it can create something that will block you on your future opportunities.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
on the next situation, maybe I'll say, oh no, I'll not try because I'm not complete, right? So my father said to me, you need to say what you want to be, even if you think you are not yet.
Right.
And said, he put me in the front of the mirror and said, now talk. Talk what? What you are? What you are? And I don't know, I'm handsome, something like that. And I
Yes, you
started
are.
to repeat and repeat and then repeat and then repeat. And then at the beginning it was like, oh crap, I have to do this. My dad is pain in my ass, but I'll do this. And then I simply forgot that. And I said, all right, let's do it again. Then I understand that if somebody will love you, they'll need to love you and like you the way you are. If
Mhm.
you put your happiness in the hands of other people or other things, you will never be happy.
Right.
Never be happy. And then, and then, I never get more problems with girl. Well, the problems has changed.
Yeah. The problem has changed because you're dealing with teenage girls. That's,
Yes,
that's a
yes,
challenge in of itself, right? Just with that.
yes.
But you know what? You brought up a good point, Marcos, and that is that there are events in our life, right, that happen. And when they happen, we put a meaning to that event. And that meaning
Yes.
shapes our life because when a similar event happens again, we stack meanings on those events, and especially if the events look alike. And rejection, I mean, we all go through it when we're dating, right? When we're young. It happens whether you're 14 or whether you're 6 or whether you're 40, right? It all happens. And that's the event, right? We ask somebody, we talk to a girl and she denies us or she makes fun of us or she, whatever happens, happens. That's the event. And the meaning we can put to it is that, well, all girls are mean or that I'm not good enough. Or in your situation, right? I'm not a full man. And you are, okay? And but that could be a meaning
Yes.
that you carry on for the rest of your life. And we're in control of our meanings. And the way that you manage your meanings is admirable and it's inspiring and it's great orange energy. And that's one of the things that I love. And every time I see you, you're just the happiest guy in the room. The happiest guy in the room. And
Thank you.
and you're playing drums and you're disc jockeying and you're doing all kinds of phenomenal stuff. And it's glad to hear that your dad was a pivotal guy in your life. What
Yes.
else was like a moment in your life where you just said, you know what, this is what I am, this is what I have, I'm blessed, and it's now time to let the world know all about it? When did that happen
Yes.
for you?
Yeah. When I was born, I forgot to mention. The doctor said to my family that I only have 30 years of life. 30 because of that syndrome. Okay. So I live with that time limit on my head, on my unconsciousness, right?
Yeah.
So I think every single day that in the morning when I wake up, I used to ask myself, how can I enjoy life with the little time that I have? 30 years. That's why I did so many impossible things for someone in my conditions. And then, since I was young, everybody stopped me and said, you are an inspiration, or you helped me so much. And every time. But for me, I was just living my life. And I
Right.
started to ask myself, why people don't live theirs? Why people are not happy? they have a full life. Oh, wait, I have just 30 years. Hey, they have it all, and they are not happy, and they are complaining. And so at some point of my life, I understand that there's a purpose for everything in our life.
Right.
And our life is always happening for us, not to us. So I understand that that was my mission. And I said, whoa, God, the universe, or whatever you believe, put me on this body. And today I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that because I know the size of the mission that I have and so many people that I have helped all around the world.
Oh yeah, you've spoken on
So
stages, tens,
yes,
20,000. I mean, thousands and thousands of people have heard your message, and thousands of people have the privilege of meeting you.
yes, that's my primary purpose in life because sometimes I just look and see people that have everything and are complaining and complaining and complaining. I would say something to you that maybe you not like, you guys that are hearing us right now. Maybe you will not like what I'm going to say, but I will say it anyway, right? Because it's my job. But I would say to you, you don't have problems. You don't have problems. You wake up every morning. You step on the ground. You see the sunlight. You don't need anyone to put clothes on you. You don't need anyone to feed you or to give you water or to help you in the bathroom to do your primary necessities. No. What you have in your life is situations, and every single one of them can be solved. All right. So I'll say you another thing that maybe you will not like to hear too, but I will say it anyway too. Listen, listen, listen. No one gives a shit about you. Listen, I'm not saying that no one's love you. I'm not saying that no one's want you're good, that you feel good. What I am saying is everybody has his own situations to take care. So complaining will never give you anything. So stop complaining. And I would like to do a challenge here, man. Can I do this? All right.
Absolutely. Let's challenge
So
everybody. Right.
let's do a challenge here. I would
Okay.
like to on the next 5 days that you heard this podcast, 5 days, you will not complain about nothing. 5 days. I'm not saying a month or a year. 5 days. Try this on. 5 days. You will not complain. And I want to get your feedback. Okay. You
Oh yeah.
can you can go on my Instagram, Marcos Rossi Rio. Okay, Marcos Rossi Rio, and you can send me a message and say, "Oh, I did it," or "I complained on the third day," or "I complained on the first day," or "I complained on still on the podcast," or whatever. Just
Right.
send me your feedback. I am sure that it will change. It will change your life.
It sounds easier than it actually is. I can imagine 5 days of not bitching about anything. Oh my
Yes,
God. Yeah. That's not as easy as it sounds, I don't think.
it's a challenge.
That's
That's
why
why
it's a
it's a
challenge.
challenge.
That's why it's a challenge. And doesn't your shirt say quit bitching or something like that?
Yes, I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them because I love to draw, to do drawings. And I started to do with the message that I pass on my speeches on my book. And then I just, in the beginning was only for me, but people say, look, it's so beautiful. And then we started a store and on a web store and with a lot of these message like stop bitching or you have never give up and all then sign it by me. I said sign it. Really,
You
even
signed it.
without
That's right.
arms,
Right.
without hands.
I'm curious, the no arms, no hands, no legs. My brother was a drummer, and one of my favorite bands is Def Leppard, and Rick Allen is one of my idol. He's a great artist too. as are you, right? I mean, and have you ever met him, by the way? Rick
No,
Allen
no,
from Def Leppard.
no.
It's a great band. I mean, I'm just totally into that kind of music. And I've seen the band a bunch of times, and I've met Rick on the Monsters of Rock cruise a few times. And my brother, like I said, he's a very accomplished drummer. Just the visual. How do you drum? How do you manage a drum kit?
Yeah,
With no one,
yeah.
I gotta know. You know?
You need to understand that it's not a drum like a rock for rock and roll or something like that. Have you ever seen a Carnival parade in Brazil? That Carnival, 300 guys playing the drums together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one piece of that drum, you
Okay.
know. So every man on the Carnival parade on the battery, they are playing one piece of that. So it's like, and when all together do like, you know. So
Is that on
but
YouTube? Can people see
but
that
I
out
play,
there?
yeah, yes, I have a video, very cool video, that because we have my instrument, we have a lot on that, 300 guys, 200 guys. So, but only six of them do what I say is like a solo. So that guys, they are all synchronized and do the same thing. And then that solo, all that 200 guys respond. You know, it's
Wow.
like pa, 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 ba, 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 everybody, jing, jing, jing. Pa, 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 ba, da, 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 jing, jing, you know, it's
Yeah.
awesome. And I wanted to be one of them, that guys, because I played the drums for 21 years. I played on the Carnival parades, and but only six guys do the solo, and it's a huge responsibility,
Well,
even a guy without arms and legs. So and I said, oh, how can I do this? I want to be one of them. And then I started to walk with that guys, to be at his sides, and learn and watch and rehearse at their side, and playing very, very slow and very. And then one day, the guy that runs the all the samba school, it's like a maestro.
mhm.
He said, everybody stop playing, and it's Marcos, come here. And he put me on the front of that 200 guys, and just pointed at me and said, do it. And then I started my solo for the first time. It was a very magical moment. I have this video. This video is on YouTube. I will send you the link for you too, and you can put for the guys on the show on the
Awesome.
description.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see it. I'd love to listen
And I
to it.
play with the sticks.
Is it
How?
sticks? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody, when you said, when you ask someone, why don't you do this? Why don't you achieve your goal? Why don't you go for your dream? And people said, oh, because I don't have money. Oh, because I don't have time. Oh, because I don't have technology or whatever. And all this is resources. And the most important thing on my life, it's like a mantra for me, okay?
Uh-huh.
That you need to learn to use the resources around you, the resources that you have. You need to be
Exactly.
resourceful with the thing that you have.
Exactly. Gratitude.
For example,
Be grateful for what you have. Exactly.
yes. For example, for me to go to the school as a toddler, and then when you start to writing, okay, that school was a normal school, not for someone with disabilities. It's a normal school, and that was the intent of my family, to include. All right, that's inclusion, to mixed together. And then we need to start writing. And when you start to learn writing, what happened? The teacher holds your hand and do like drawings or something to test your motor coordination, right?
Right. Right.
And and what about me? Well, they don't. They didn't have the expertise to someone in my condition. And then resources around you. My mom, she got a brilliant idea. You know that the duct tape, it's like duct tape,
Great.
the transparent one, the white one, and
Yeah.
she put it the pencil on my arm and then duct tape. And the same way, the teacher hold my arm and that's okay. I start
Yeah.
writing because your coordination is inside your head, not in your limbs.
Right.
And for playing the drums, the same thing. I wanted to play, but I wasn't asking, how can I play this with my disability? No.
Right. Right. You don't
What
let anything.
instrument? What instrument on the Sunday school I want to play?
You don't let
That
disability
was
get in your way. You don't let it get in your way. That's
no.
what's
So I said, what resource I had here? And then I started to use black tape. That tape that you put in wires, electric wires.
right.
And then because it's very resistant, you can put, and very hard, you can hit very hard. And that's how I play the drums.
That's crazy, kid. That's amazing, Marcos. It really is. Again, you don't look at it as an obstacle. You look at it as an opportunity in disguise here. How can I make something better out of this?
Yes.
Which is great, which is fantastic. What would be the next challenge for you? What's the next, okay, everybody has a bucket list, right? I have a bucket list. I want to go scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef. That's one of my things.
I do this too.
Have you done it already? Or you want to do it?
I'm a pro. I have my card, my credential.
You're a PADI certified guy here? Yeah?
Yes, and it's not PADI for us. It's HSA, Handicapped Scuba Association.
Okay.
So there are different rules. I only can dive with 2 people around me, but it's the same thing. I love to go on the wreckage because I'm small. I can fit any hole. So I love to do this, man. We can dive together someday.
I would love that. That's a bucket list thing for me. So I want to scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef. I want to run on the Great Wall of China. I would love to join Richard Branson, who I know you've met. I'd like to take a plane, a jet, whatever, to the moon, whatever that's going to happen. What's on your bucket list? What are you going to do? What's your next big thing?
All right. I think the first thing that it's on my bucket list and I didn't did it yet. I would like to do parachute.
Okay, skydive.
Yes, I didn't find some crazy enough to throw a guy without arms and legs from the airplane yet, but I'm sure I will find it. I'm sure I will find it because I found a guy who put a guy without arms and legs in the surfboard and went to the sea and go. And so I will find that too.
I will go with you. I will definitely go.
You want this?
Oh, I love scuba. Skydiving. I've done it 3 times. I would love to go with you. Yeah, let's do that. Let's plan that.
Yes,
okay?
And I can put the string on my teeth and then fun.
Oh, you're gonna pull it yourself, huh? You're gonna do the whole thing on your own? All right.
I just cannot be scary because if I scare and then string, yeah, it's over. It's done.
Well, doesn't all the greatest things in life scare you? I mean, you told me a story right before we got on this call that you have scoliosis, right?
Yes.
As you were growing up, right? And
yes,
you had to have surgery on it because of a condition and something. Tell that story, because you were telling me things that want to scare the hell out of you. That was a crazy, scary story, right?
Yeah, and a beautiful one too, because sometimes things happen in your life and you do not understand on that moment, but then it makes sense later.
Right.
Remember that I said that the medicals told that I will live only 30 years, right?
Right.
But when I was 15 years old, I almost got dead. I almost got dead first because that scoliosis, your spine is it's becoming a letter S, as S letter, right? Mm-hmm. It's turning and turning and turning. And at that moment, when we went to the doctor, they said, listen, that spine, it's turning 10 degrees per month.
Per month.
If we do not operate right now, it's gonna perforate some internal organs or something and you're gonna die. But still, if you want to do the surgery, there is 90% of going wrong, because I have a small body and I cannot lose too much blood.
Right.
And the incision was like from my shoulders to the hip. All my body was open. And then they will put a iron bar or something that to tie the spine for not turning again. Well, 10% is better than nothing. All right. So
You have
that,
90% chance of a problem, 90%
yes,
chance of possible death,
of possible death.
10% chance of living, and you go ahead and
Yes.
say, oh, let's do it.
Yes.
Let's
Just
do it.
10% of living. And let's do this. Let's do this, because I know inside of me that nothing will happen. I know I love life so much. I know that I'm going back. And then I back. So,
Back.
but with a complication, because with that thing on my spine, for the spine doesn't turn again, I lost my movement. I lost the movement from my hip up. And what was the most important thing for you to use your crutches to play soccer or do whatever you want to do? It's movement.
Right.
You need to move. You need to bend your belly to do the movements with the crutches and stuff. So that moment was very, very difficult for me, because before I can do anything. But now, from that day, I couldn't move it again. I said, what am I going to do now? Well, I always love the things that put me on that state, happy state with high energy, right? So
Right.
I decided I would search for new things that put me on that state again. And then all these crazy things that I do, all of them showed up after the surgery and not before.
After.
After
So
the
all the
surgery.
scuba diving, all the surfing, all that's all
Scuba
happened. Playing
diving,
drums.
surfing, playing the drums. I'm a singer too. I'm a DJ in the nightclub here in Brazil. I have 2 kids. Yeah, I do this too. A lot of things, because people maybe look and say, "Oh, that's impossible for someone in his condition." But I did it. But I did it just for me to be on that state. If you live in a beautiful state, your life changes. Your life changes.
It's a beautiful statement, and it really does. It really
Yes.
does. Marcos, if you could sum up, 2 things of all the things you've learned in your life, of all the things that have helped you get through the situation, of all the things that help you stay inspiring, stay happy, what are 2 tips that you would give to the audience that they should live or do or experience or learn, or, what are 2 tips to have an amazing quality of life?
All right, all right, all right. Everybody wants results in life, right?
Yep.
Everybody, in your personal life, in your business, and results. It's nothing more than a simple thing. Write down. It's preparation, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Preparation plus, it's like a math. Preparation plus opportunity less your internal voice of fear. Okay? Right now, preparation plus opportunity less your internal voice. Preparation. You need to understand that you can't stop learning. Never in your life. Because you need to grow always, always, and learn and do courses and read books and do events and go to events and learn. Evolution, it's the most important thing for us in our life. Never stop. Oh, but I am a boss, I have my crew, and I don't need to learn anymore. Your results gonna be fail, right? You will
Right.
fail if you think like
Right.
that, because the opportunity only came for prepare minds only. Okay, but even still, you can read books, you can do trainings, you can do a lot of things like that. The opportunity, when the opportunity shows up, you grab that opportunity, and even still, the fear and the voice, internal voice, will show up. And you need to understand that fear, it's part of the process. Okay, everybody feel fear, everybody. People that said, I don't have fear of nothing, it's bullshit. Everybody had fear.
Right.
Okay, so you need to understand, first of all, fear is part of the process. Okay, fear is part of the process. And when that happens, you need to understand that you need to go for your fear. You need to fight. You need to go with. But my students always say to me, Marcos, how can I do that? My fear is bigger than me. You 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 want to know how to solve this? Little actions, day by day. Little actions. Because we used to say, oh, okay, my project is so big, and then you think about the end of your project. So it's like, oh, it's gonna be very difficult. But if you do little actions, you can you can do anything in your life,
Right.
anything. I always use that how can I say it, that formula on my life, but on my professional life, it it makes a hell of a sense on less years. uh, I said to you earlier that my father was my first great mentor, all right?
Yes.
And he used to live in the US for more than 30 years. And then he came to Brazil, and then he brought all his mentors, like in books and audio books, that's K7 tapes, remember that?
Oh yeah.
Old stuff. And he used to translate that for me on my youth. And I remember that my father's mentor at that time, the guy that he's all the time he was saying about, was Tony Robbins. And I that lifestyle and philosophy about energy, about you going forward. And since I was young, I used to heard about it. But for me, a kid, a kid in Brazil, it's a far thing to meet the man who trained so many important people in the world, and so expensive for someone on our condition at that time. But then life goes on, and when you are doing right in your mission, if you are doing your mission well, the universe, God, or whatever you believe, will put some coincidence in front of you, right? And
Right.
then I remember in 2018, Tony did his first event in Brazil. And when they opened for the tickets, it was all sold out. Bah, very fast, very fast. And I didn't have my ticket. I said, oh my God. And then listen to that part, to this part. One day earlier, one day earlier of the event, my manager called me. I was in another state doing a speech in another company, and I was going to the airport, and my manager called me and said, Marcos, listen, um, Tony Robbins organization, they are searching for a samba school to do the opening for him on stage. As you as a drummer, and you have a speech that you put all that guys on the stage, so you have a team for whatever you need them. Do you want to go and be on stage of Tony Robbins tomorrow? Listen to that, man.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And I said, remember the formula? Preparation. I played for 21 years plus opportunity. You grab this opportunity. And then the internal voice of fear. And I said, oh my God, but it's Tony Robbins. How can I do this? And if the guy don't show up, or I don't know. And listen, it was Tony likes some music, Brazilian music that is called Aquarela do Brasil. And the lyrics of this music is like 1 mile away. And you don't, it's not like you sing chorus, sing chorus. No, it's everything different. You, and I didn't sing that song. I have to record in 24 hours. And I remember little actions against your fear. And I just said to the manager, all right, you can count on me. Tomorrow I will be there. And I went there. And it was beautiful moment. 11,000 people on the crowd. And I played the drums. And then in the end, I met Tony, the guy that changed my life. And I was in front of him on the backstage. And the first thing he did, he got on his knees in front of me. And I said, get up, man, please. And he said, look, he looks in me in the eye and said, everybody is equal. And then he put his very giant hand on my chest and said, your mission is beautiful and you will help a lot of people in this world. And I want to give you a gift. And I said, what? I want to give you a gift. I want you to go as my personal guest on Date with Destiny. And
Wow.
then the training that changed my life again. And then I went there. Then I met Frank Clark on that event too. Well, man, and on that moment, I remember that on the last day, or Tony asked it, who wants to share? 5,000 people in that crowd, right?
Oh yeah.
And I said, whoa, I want to share, but can you imagine if I am in the restaurant and I raise up my arms, nobody see nothing. And Tony will see me. And then I pick up my wheelchair, powered wheelchair, and I went up front on the first row. On the platinum guys, they pay a lot of money to be there. I wasn't a platinum guy, but I bring my chair home so I can sit anywhere I want. And then I was over that up front. And a friend of mine, I said, I want to share. Can you help me? All right. Then we start talking with all the first row. He said, hey, let's help Marcos share. And when Tony asked, who wants to share? Everybody was pointing at me. He. Remember, little actions of what you want. And then Tony said, I want to ask my friend from Brazil. And then that moment, I shared the most incredible thing that I learned there, that it was so powerful in my life. That was about my primary question. If you don't know what it is, it's a question that you do all your life unconscious. So you do this question every time you have to decide something. Sometimes it will push you up, sometimes it's gonna make you down. All right. Some people have like a primary question. For example, am I good enough? There are people that ask this all the time on the life. Am I good enough? And then give up, don't do. And some other people have like a primary question. What can I do for people to like me more? There's people that want to please everybody all the time, and that doesn't work. Everybody has their own, and I discovered mine. And then I said, listen, Tony, the great breakthrough that I have here, it was my primary question. Because when I went, the doctor said, how you want to live 30 years. So my primary question was, how can I enjoy life with the little time that I have? 30 years. And then he looked and said, how old are you now? And then I said, I'm 36. And then everything got crazy. And that DJ, his DJ is the best DJ in the world. And he's always put a song, a music that is related to the subject that is being said at that moment. And then he started to play, tonight we are young. So yeah. I set the world on fire. Everybody was crying. I was crying. And then Tony hugged me and he said, I want to give you a gift. Again. He said, I want you to learn what we do here and help people in Brazil. And he gave me some courses, and I was trying, traveling and learning. So I'm living my mission at the most, and delivering most. And this time that we are living now, I think that's the moment that we need to do more for others.
It truly is.
More. We need to change our focus from ourselves and look to people that we love, people that are around us, and or even people that you don't know.
Right.
You know
Well,
some things that I don't. So you can help people too.
well said, Marcos. Well said. I mean, you look into your blessings and you have an incredible mission on this planet. I'm glad to be part of it. I'm glad to be even one small chapter in your mission. As I said before, I'll always be there to help you. I really, you're inspiring to me. You're inspiring to many. I've heard you speak to thousands and thousands of people. I know your destiny is to serve. And again, that's part of that orange energy, is to give back so that others can have a better life. And you are definitely an example of that, my friend. You're definitely an example of a leader, and an inspiring leader at that. Somebody that doesn't look at obstacles, but mainly looks at opportunities. And I thank you for being on my show today. I really honor you, and I really respect you, and I have an incredible love for you. Thank you so much. How can people get a hold of you, Marcos, if they want to hear more or see you?
All right. If someone wants to talk to me, you can go to the Instagram by Marcos Rossi Rio. That is not fake, it's real. Okay, Marcos Rossi Rio. And I answered you on inbox message, and even without hands. Okay, I type on my cell phone too with my arms. And my website is Marcos Rossi.com. It's Marcos. It's like a hyphen
Dash. Yep. Like a
and
dash. Yep.
yeah, .com, and Facebook and all the medias is just Marcos Rossi. You can find me, or on Google, YouTube, or whatever. You can just put my name on and boom.
Absolutely. Or you can come to the Orange Crushing It Facebook page, and I'll have
Yes.
Marcos featured there. And so, Marcos, absolutely. Again, thank you so much. Thanks for embodying the orange energy, the orange space. You are, again, as I said, a true leader, a great friend, and I really feel blessed and honored that you're here today. Thanks again for being here,
Thank
but my
you,
friend.
man. God bless you and keep inspiring. Keep inspiring. And congratulations for your beautiful work that you are doing so well, man. It's an honor to meet you and being your friend.
Thank you, brother. Let's go skydiving. All right, we're making that happen.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right, I'll see you, dude. Bye.
Bye bye.